Could Britney Spears be placed back in a conservatorship after her DUI arrest? We got to talk about this and more. But before we get into it, hi, best friend, and welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my whole vibe is pop culture, messy bestie, and just feels like we're on a FaceTime call, hanging out together, and just, I don't know, best friend, just keeping each other company. You know, not only is the world scary, but everything with Britney Spears is going on. And if you love Britney, I know you've been in a state of anxiety lately like I have. So I'm just offering a cozy little spot on the internet where we do talk about everything going on, but in a more humane and kinder way, and just a more hopeful way for Britney Spears. So if that is what you are interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, are we loving? Are we loving? My husband surprised me yesterday with this. He bought it at Ross, best friend. It was like $12, and it says Twilight, and that's my husband. I don't know who that bitch is, but that's my husband. That's our dog. But yeah, it's so cute. So, anyways, okay, now let's just kind of move on to a little more serious. There are some new articles stating that could this DUI arrest land Britney Spears back in a conservatorship, especially after if the pills that were tested come back that they were laced with any type of substance other than what they are, which is supposedly Adderall. Well, let's talk about it. A lot of people are speculating whether or not Britney Spears' DUI arrest could land her back in a conservatorship, and I hate to break it to the haters, but no, it cannot. Okay, so basically, it's going to take more than a DUI arrest for Britney Spears' conservatorship to be reinstated, according to attorney Sean R. Weisbert, okay? So, he says, although a DUI arrest could be a factor for the imposition of another conservatorship, by no means would a conviction on a DUI result in the imposition of a conservatorship. The courts would need to demonstrate that Britney is incapable of managing her personal and financial affairs in order for another conservatorship to be put in place. So he also says, let's be clear, the penalty for DUI is not the imposition of a conservatorship, okay? It could be a probation, it could be a fine, it could be community service, it could potentially even be incarcerated for a sentence. But it's not the imposition of a conservatorship, right? There would have to be a pattern that demonstrates that she's truly incapable on a long-term basis of managing her personal affairs. If someone can prove that she is suffering from mental illness, that she can't part with drugs or alcohol, that she's addicted, that it's impacting her ability to manage her personal affairs on an ongoing basis, then that would be what the court would look for to impose a conservatorship on her. However, he believes the court could look for the least restrictive means possible. So, Britney Spears is not headed to another conservatorship, okay? The substances that were allegedly found in her car are still being tested, so we have to wait and see what they are, so that will determine how it's going to affect her case. Because if it's nothing, if it's just Adderall and that, then we're good. Then she's probably going to need, like, you know, to be sent to, like, you know, just kind of like a recovery mental health, you know, beautiful sanctuary, right, where she can just heal from all the disgusting trauma that she was placed on. But if there were any illegal substances found in her car, that could definitely mean jail time. So I'll keep you guys updated with more as it comes out. So make sure you're following along, and I'll see you on the next one. All right. So I feel first, I don't necessarily believe this could land her in a conservatorship. What I think, obviously, that's going to happen is, you know, let's say for a second that these pills that are supposed to be Adderall are something else, then I do think that there should be some type of consequence. And by consequence, I mean some kind of help, right? Obviously, no jail time, because no. But of course, some people are saying, you know, doesn't matter if you're Britney Spears, doesn't matter who you are. If you are breaking the law, you're breaking the law. Which, at the end of the day, it is the truth. Now, I will say that I think the best thing for Britney is to go to a facility of mental health, of healing, of kind of understanding of what being on your own is. What I think that happened after the conservatorship, I think everyone was so excited that she was out of that abuse, but I don't know if necessarily people really put a lot of thought into kind of helping her back out. You know what I mean?
What am I going to do now that the conservatorship's over with? Very good question. I've been in the conservatorship for 13 years. It's a really long time to be in a situation you don't want to be in. So I'm just grateful, honestly, for each day and being able to have keys to my car and being able to be independent and feel like a woman. Having an ATM card, seeing cash for the first time, being able to buy candles. It's the little things for us women, but it makes a huge difference. And I'm grateful for that, It's nice. It's really nice. I'm not here to be a victim. I lived with victims my whole life as a child. That's why I got out of my house and I worked for 20 years and worked my ass off. I'm here to be an advocate for people with real disabilities and real illnesses. I'm a very strong woman, so I can only imagine what the system has done to those people. So hopefully my little story, my story will make an impact and make some changes in the corrupt system. And the Free Britney movement, you guys rock. Honestly, my voice was muted and threatened for so long. I wasn't able to speak up or say anything, and because of you guys and the awareness of kind of knowing what was going on and delivering that news to the public for so long, you gave it awareness to all of them. Because of you, I honestly think you guys saved my life in a way. 100%. Let's move forward. God bless you all. We're gonna have a good year, good Christmas, and rock on.
And that is something that I always kind of thought about was, you are stuck in this 13-year abuse, in my opinion, and you have no access to your ATM. You get an allowance. You are told what to do. You don't even have rights over your IUD. All of the things that we already know, and then you're just kind of like pushed out back into the world. I could see how that could be very scary, and it could be very like, okay, you leave a kid in a candy store and they go cray cray, right? And I think that's sort of what happened with Britney. There was so much restriction, so many no's, so many rules, and she couldn't really do anything. So I think that is how one of the things that maybe we failed her in was to just kind of throw her back into the world. So I think, I'm hopeful that those pills are just Adderall. I'm hopeful that, the reason why she got arrested was because police thought she was acting erratic, right? Acting erratic could literally just have been a panic attack because of the situation. It could have been a nervous breakdown. She could have been tipsy. She could have had a mix of Xanax with something or whatever. I'm just speculating at this point. So that is why they took her in. And apparently her alcohol levels were, were less than the legal. So I think hopefully that's the case, because that's the best case scenario. And that Britney goes to a beautiful mental health retreat where she really goes and digs deep into the healing of it all, because I think that is what hasn't allowed her to completely just kind of move forward and move on from it, So I'm really concerned reading all the conspiracies and all the theories that are out there. A lot of them are that a lot of you guys believe that her team is setting her up for another conservatorship. A lot of people believe that is what's going on here, that, they are making anything, that they're doing anything basically to make her look bad so she can go back into a conservatorship. Now that, she sold her catalog. So I don't know. I am very concerned for many reasons. I think that Britney I do think that she is lost. I really truly do. This is just my theories. I think she is lost. I think that, I think she thought that the world was going to welcome her with open arms and just kind of accept everything that she's putting out. And I think that she hung out with the wrong people. I think that she found solace and company in users and in people who did not have her best interest. And so that is what I absolutely think happened here. She was left alone in a world where she was not familiar, and she was left with people who were not good people. So that is my theory. I pray that, she doesn't, I pray that she doesn't end up in a conservatorship. I just don't see that happening, but I really truly hope that she does go and get the help that she needs. So, yeah, that's kind of my stuff. I will say this, that, there's a lot of people talking really nasty about Britney. There's a lot of people just, trashing her, and I hope that my videos are kind of a more humane way. I do spill pop culture tea. This is what's going on, and I'm trying to do it in the most humane way possible, and but also in a fair way, because yes, I love Britney, but the law is the law, and if she needs help, then I need her to get help. I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I'm not gonna say anything else but what is best for her, because when you love someone, sometimes tough love is the best way to go. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Love you guys so much. If there's any more updates, I'll definitely let you guys know, and I'll see you on the next one. Mwah.